Buddy was my friend. I never knew him, never met him, but he was my friend. He was one of us. Glasses, thin, no sex. What? He was the kid next door, and I loved his music. It's insanely simple, but it's timeless. I mean, I think we all agree on that. Buddy Holly's music is timeless. He died on my birthday, 1959. I remember specifically walking over to, Alan Clark walked over to my house, and because it had been in the paper that Buddy had died, we were crying on the street corner. 50 years later, to the day, I played the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa, which was the last place that Buddy played. And they have, every year they have a concert for him. And they asked me if I wanted to do the 50th one. And of course I was all over it. So me and my son Will went to Clear Lake, Iowa, which is one of the coldest places I've ever been in my life. But to stand in that field and stand at the site where that plane crashed was insanely emotional for me. I was so sad. And when I saw this shot of Buddy, who's, you know, months from death, he looks so lonely, and he looks so much like I'm here on the road, but everything I love is back in Manhattan, you know, with Maria Elena. To me, he just doesn't want to be there. I don't know how you react to it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful shot.
Well, and as part of a sort of a special in honor of this photograph tonight, Mike Malone, who's here tonight, has agreed to loan Buddy Holly's guitar, which he hand tooled. It's got a leather cover on it, and we're going to bring that out now, and Graham will play one of Buddy Holly's songs.
Thanks. I got a pick.
You got him?
Oh,
all
yeah.
Right.
Buddy made this leather case himself. He hand-tooled this whole thing. And I'm convinced that he must have seen it. The picture of Elvis upstairs I was talking about earlier, his guitar is covered in leather. He had it done in Nashville. And I think that Buddy saw that. And I think he did his own version. I've seen this guitar before when Gary Busey owned it. I was talking with Mike last night at the hotel. Somebody put it in my arms like this, and of course the first thing I did was turn it around and strum it and broke a string. And of course my wife, devilish that she is, said, you know, that's the last of the original string. Wow. You know, I think part of the process of this whole thing is to get as close to the flame as you can get without being burned, you know? And I'm very close to the flame right now of this particular thing. I mean, this is Buddy Holly's guitar on which he wrote most of his famous songs. I mean, Buddy's hands are... I'm tripping out here, I'm sorry. If you knew Peggy Sue, then you know why I feel blue without Peggy. My Peggy Sue. Well, I love you, gal, and I want you, Peggy Sue. If you knew Peggy Sue, oh, how my heart yearns for you, oh, Peggy, my Peggy Sue. Well, I love you, gal, I want you, Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue, pretty, 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 pretty Peggy Sue. Oh, Peggy, my Peggy Sue. well, I love you, gal, and I want you, Peggy Sue. Love you, Peggy Sue, with a love so red and true. What a Peggy, my Peggy Sue. Well, I love you, gal, and I want you, Peggy Sue. Well, I love you, gal, and I want you, Peggy Sue. I just noticed here that it says "Love Me" here on the thing, and it reminds me. I have Johnny Cash's first guitar, and it's a small acoustic, but on the back with a sixpenny nail, he had signed it Johnny Cash, and I think it's June. I had written in tiny letters, "Love you," and that, you know, "Love me." It just reminded me of that. Just spacing out. Don't worry about it. Wow.
He used to scratch on things like that.
This is an insane moment for me. I mean, the Hollies, excuse me. Wow. What can you say? Touching the flame. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their father's hell did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they pick is the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. I know they love you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nobody else got balls? And you of tender years, you can't know the fears that your elders grew by, and so please help them with your youth, 'cause they seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well, 'cause their children's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they pick is the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. And know they love you. Thank you. Just as a parting note, if I'd have known it was going to be such a big hit, I'd have written a better song.